What's up? What's going on? What's good, everybody? Boston Source checking in here. Wanted to get in reference to Vergil Ortiz Jr. He recently had a fight against Frederick Lawson that, lasted about like 10 seconds or something like that. And yeah, we know about, the whole backstory to all of that. We just talked about that, on the Boston Source podcast or whatever it is. But you have his manager there, Rick Mirigian, that told ProBoxTV that it seems like his next fight could be planned for May. So you have him at 154 pounds. Now, yep, the whole thing with him at 147, that's all gone, So, we had his fight against Frederick Lawson there. That's going to be, he had it at 154 pounds, and he's ranked in the super welterweight division. He's already, entered in there in the WBA rankings at 154 pounds. So they're looking for opponents there at 154 for Vergil Ortiz Jr. Now, I know that he was talking about, hey, maybe he could try to get in a fight with Tim Tszyu, who is the WBO champion. But as we know, Tim Tszyu is fighting Keith Thurman on March 30th. So, that particular fight, that is out of the cards, at least for now. So they're trying to see if they could fit in a fight for Vergil Ortiz Jr. I know that there's, other contenders out there. You have Charles Conwell, that's a contender out there. You got Erickson Lubin, that is a contender out there. Some say that, Erickson Lubin should have got that fight with Tim Tszyu, you know what I'm saying? And you have a few other contenders out there at 154 pounds. You got Takeshi Inoue there as a fighter at 154 pounds. That could be a potential opponent for Vergil Ortiz Jr. It looks like they want to continue to have those feature fights there for Vergil Ortiz. He was, building a crowd or a following, while he was there in the welterweight division, building up his record. He has a 100% KO or stoppage ratio. What is it, like 20 wins, 20 knockouts, or 20 stoppages? So they want to keep that momentum going there for Vergil Ortiz Jr. as now he tries to become a serious contender at 154 pounds. So with the manager there, Rick Mirigian, saying that, hey, his next bout is, targeted for May. You'll see if they could fit him in there for that particular month and see if they can find an opponent for him. But for me, it's somebody in Vergil Ortiz Jr. that, probably could have made some noise there at welterweight. There, they had that potential fight between him versus Iman Stanionis. That would have been a great fight at 147. It just, couldn't materialize. So he just ends up going up to 154 pounds. And so now that is where he's going to be campaigning. So we'll see as far as like what his potential fight could be next, after having that win over Frederick Lawson. I think that he could, also be a contender there at 154 pounds. We just got to see like where he fits in as far as like, those guys, like I mentioned, Charles Conwell, Erickson Lubin, you got, Jesus Ramos Jr. Now, Lubin and Ramos, maybe those fights might not be in the cards, but somebody like in a way, like I said before, maybe Charles Conwell. I don't think Charles Conwell is, really tied to anybody. So that would kind of like be a, high profile fight there at 154. Charles Conwell is currently ranked #1 in the WBC at 154 pounds. So, hey, maybe you could try to fit in that particular fight there for Vergil Ortiz Jr. But will it be in May? I'm not sure. But, hey, why not? Charles Conwell don't necessarily have a fight right now. You know what I'm saying? So, maybe they could do that. But in the time being, we'll see what happens here with Vergil Ortiz Jr. He's still undefeated. Like I said, with that 100% knockout ratio, now campaigning at 154 pounds. And his manager there, Rick Mirigian, says, hey, we're trying to see if we can fit him in in May. So we got that. We'll see what happens there with Vergil Ortiz Jr. And just follow what's going on with news and everything like that through the Boxing Source. Also check out interviews on the YouTube channel. And of course, we have the Boxing Source podcast Sundays, 7:30 p.m. Eastern time, live on YouTube. So you'll be able to check that out. You know what I'm saying? And hit the subscribe button. We appreciate all the support here at the Boxing Source. Until then, I'll check y'all later. Peace out.